Good evening. This is CTV News for Friday, July the 17th. I'm Sonia Shrivastava. Thank you for joining us this evening. Prince George's police are investigating the ambush shooting of two security guards at a Capitol Heights apartment complex. One was killed. A second remains hospitalized with gunshot wounds. Our Byron Scott has the story.
This is where the crime occurred, just back here. Police say two security guards in separate vehicles were filling out paperwork when another car pulled up and opened fire. One security guard was killed, another injured, and several hours later, police were back at the scene. It was around 9:40 this morning when police swooped down on Central Gardens apartments in Capitol Heights. Someone called 911 to report the men allegedly involved in the shooting of two security guards were at the complex. 3 men were taken into custody. Police described them as persons of interest. Killed was 26-year-old Adrian Kennard. A second security guard was injured. As for Kennard, the aspiring hip-hop artist, was the father of a year-old daughter. He played baseball at Indiana Tech in Fort Wayne.
Oh, my son was a good-hearted, loving young man.
Cynthia Kennard says her son was determined to become a Prince George's police officer following the murder of his younger brother.
Whoever did this, because it didn't need to be done. He didn't deserve that.
I can't say nothing. I'm just really hurt. I mean, you know, it's always somebody that's always trying to do good that gets killed. You know, the people that do dirt live.
Police say the shooting was a targeted attack.
It was more like firecrackers, it sounded like.
Jamie Sellers says she heard a commotion just prior to the shooting.
If somebody's going to go after the security guard, then they has no issues of going after anybody in here.
The complex is under the watchful eye of security cameras. A source tells CTV News that the system did record the shootings. Why they were targeted remains a mystery and, for the families, a source of deep pain.
In the morning, he had goals: his child, his work, his career, and taking care of everybody else. And I think that is what people will miss about him: his laughter, his jokes.
Again, police stress the 3 people who were picked up this morning are merely persons of interest at this point, and they're asking anyone who may have any information about the crime to give them a call. In Capitol Heights, Byron Scott, CTV News.
All right, and meanwhile, police say their arrests will dramatically decrease crime in Prince George's. After years of investigation, 14 men and women have been indicted. Prosecutors say the Simple City criminal organization is responsible for the majority of gas station, car thefts, and stolen vehicles in the county in recent years. Members would steal purses from running cars that were left unattended.
Jump in robberies, that is where they would be waiting outside a gas station or convenience store until a victim would pull up and leave their keys in the car, and then they would hop in and steal that car. They would then use those vehicles to commit other robberies, and when they were finished using the vehicles, they would sell the stolen vehicles for profit.
We've had thousands of victims since that time, ranging from identity theft to commercial robberies, carjackings, very violent crimes. And this group, while we have crimes of violence, we also have crimes of frustration. We see these groups targeting cemeteries. They go to cemeteries, they prey upon folks, paying their respects to loved ones.
Part of the problem that we faced was putting this together to show that there was a ring or a trend that was occurring. Now keep in mind, you could have 3 or 4 incidents that would occur in one day and then nothing for a week. And then you'd have it flare up again.
Now, 9 of the 14 were arrested in an operation that involved 140 officers all across the D.C. metro area. 5 are still being sought. The defendants face a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison if convicted. Meantime, an early morning fire at a housing development in New Carrollton has caused an estimated $80,000 worth of damage. First responders were called to the Carrollton Gardens condominiums in the 5400 block of 85th Avenue around 9 a.m. The crews arrived to heavy smoke coming from the 2nd floor of the building.
We were very lucky that 2 Prince George's County police officers, Officer Lewis and Officer Ellen, saw the smoke on their way through the neighborhood, actually called in the fire, and went through the units to make sure that everybody was out of the building. We are very happy that there was no loss of life or personal injury to anyone involved.
The police came, and then I saw him already, the fire truck two fire truck. And then when I come in here, I shocked because the building was already in fire.
The American Red Cross is helping families who have been displaced due to the blaze. Well, the state's foreclosure rate may be down a percentage point since last year, but it's still among the top 3 in the nation. With nearly 22,000 filings, only Florida and New Jersey beat Maryland for the first half of 2015, and the state had the second highest rate for the month of June. Baltimore was among 8 of the 20 biggest metro areas that recorded an increase in foreclosures, up 5% compared to the first 6 months of 2014. Nationally, foreclosures are at a 10-year low. Well, police are asking for your help in identifying this man. He is a person of interest in connection with an assault on a patrol officer at a gas station in Oxon Hill yesterday morning. Now, authorities say during a traffic stop, the suspect driving the car accelerated and hit the officer, flipping him on the hood. Anyone with information is asked to call police. And we have much more to come. You are watching CTV News. I'm Sonia Shrivastava.